hey, I actually did this. So, as I normally do, I always give a mini review after I'm done the game. I've always done that. It's been a couple of years now that I do this. It's a quick and dirty review. It's nothing that's super in depth, but I wanted to give my thoughts about the game itself. So, I did play Mafia 1, the definitive edition, and Mafia 2, the definitive edition. In terms of story, I think the first one is superior, only because the ending was better in the first one. And the story was actually better in the first one as well, in some elements. But the ending in the first one was bar none one of the best endings in a video game I've ever seen. It was amazing. It was hard to live up to. In the second one, I found Mafia 2, the way it ended was a bit out. It was a bit weird. Not weird, but kind of abrupt and kind of left. You know. Um, I don't know. I just expected something of a little bit more of a conclusion for the game. Um, so like normally the story itself. I would say that Mafia One was the superior story. In the graphics department, although the definitive edition technically should have used the same engine, it was upgraded the same way. There were a lot more glitches in Mafia Two. In the Mafia One, I've already clipped it as well. There was this a cop car that disappeared. I was literally at a stop sign, a stop light. There was three cars. I was the third car. The cop car was the second car, and it just disappeared out of nowhere. However, in this one, it's the glitches are more frequent. Um, Clipping, a lot of clipping, especially when you're changing the machine gun clip. It just falls through the ground apparently. There was a lot of glitches visually from afar. There was a lot of pop in. So there was a lot of cars that popped in last minute when you're on the road, which it was a bit distracting at times. Um, so from that perspective, again, Mafia One I think was superior, as I didn't see as many glitches. Now, is it because they didn't spend as much time on Mafia Two? Is it because they rushed it out of the door? They didn't put as much effort. I don't know what the reason is. It was really evident that there were a lot more glitches in Mafia Two. In terms of the audio department, the voice acting is phenomenal. Same as the first one. I think it was amazing. However, there were times where, and again, I thought the issue was quick resume, and apparently it's not. Because I quit the game, I actually shut down my Xbox, I rebooted it, and it's the actual bug of the game, at least on the Xbox Series X. Um, so you had in certain areas you had um, cinematic trail like parts between the game in between like gameplay, right? But sometimes the music would ambient sounds would disappear, or you would have only the protagonists that would have voices. Everyone else didn't have any voices, so it was like there were sequences where it was quiet. There was nothing happening, which was weird, and I don't know why that happened. Towards the end of the game as well, there was an audio glitch where it would repeat the objective or it would repeat dialogue after you finish a previous section of the chapter. So it would actually, you would restart and it would say the same thing twice. Also, there were parts where Joe and Vito, they were talking over each other, but they weren't making sense. They were supposed to talk to each other like it was supposed to be a conversation, and they were just talking at the exact same time, which is weird. So from the audio perspective, I find it was a disappointment, to be honest. Um, the but the voice acting was very, very well done. The voice acting, the sounds, the guns, the cars were phenomenal. Even from a visual perspective, it was cool. The upgrading of the car was a bit disappointing because you would often get like a car and then you would leave it somewhere, and then some cars, sorry, some cars reappeared in your garage, and sometimes it didn't for some weird reason. So from that perspective, I find it a little bit. It was meh, but it was a good addition. It was cool. The one big big thing that I think they missed the boat on. In the first game, you were able, unless it was an actual mission or part of the chapter that involved driving. So let's say you're chasing somebody, or you're tailing somebody, and that's the main goal, or you're following somebody. There used to be a button that said, "Okay, just go to your destination," which was awesome. They don't have that here. At least I didn't see it. So if that's the case, then they missed the boat on that. Now, it's possible it was there and I didn't see it. Very, very possible. But again, I didn't fast travel, so I drove everywhere. And then at one point, it just became a driving simulator more than the actual mobster. So I find that a little bit odd. So we got the sound, the graphics, the overall story. The game itself, the package, I find it's a disappointment. Now, I'm pretty sure that it's an upgrade from Mafia 2, the original. I'm 100% sure. However, I don't think that it's superior to Mafia 1. Story-wise, I mean, it's a mob thing. I mean, it's just, there's mob families, you do some jobs. It's very similar to the first one. I just found the first one, the ending was just that much better. And if you don't want to play this game, or it's not a game that you normally play, just look. There's actually people that actually just have the cinematics. Like, they put all the cinematics together. Or just look at the ending. It's actually really, really cool. I did not expect it when I played it. So I found that a little bit cool, and I found that it ended the story really, really, really well. Like, it actually concluded the game, and it didn't feel as if there was a to be continued, or it felt like it was a Sopranos type of thing with the black screen. Like, this one just felt like, okay, they're killing your best friend. I thought they would have done that before in the game. I didn't expect it at the end, but I think it was supposed to elicit an emotional response, and it was like, eh. That's kind of my reaction to it. So maybe I'm unique in that. I don't know if I'm going to be playing Mafia 3. I've heard some bad things. I have it, so if ever I need to play it, I'll play it. It's a longer game, and there's games that I rather play before I play Mafia 3. Like, as you see on oh, you don't see it on my screen, but I am itching to play The Ascent. I've been wanting to play that for a while, and now that I have a bit more streaming time for streaming, this would be a good thing to do and start. So I'm probably, the next time I do a stream, I will be streaming The Ascent. So all in all, I think that Mafia 2, is it recommended? It's a 50-50 type of thing. If you're a fan of the Mafia, Italian Mafia stories and stuff like that, you'll find enjoyment in this game, at least from a story perspective. As a pure gaming perspective, like visuals, graphics, it falls short. I expected more from a definitive edition. I expected a lot of the bugs being ironed out. I expected a lot of the stuff. It just feels as if Mafia 1, the definitive edition, got more love and care because it was the biggest leap forward than Mafia 2. So, from that perspective, I mean, if you're never going to play Mafia 1, I don't think this is going to make you want to play Mafia 2. However, if you're a fan of this type of story, then you're probably going to have fun with it. So that's my quick and dirty review of Mafia 2. The next game on the list is The Ascent, and maybe some Flight Simulator as well. I'm actually really curious to see how good it looks. I've heard so many good things about it. I want to make sure that I see it for myself. So on that note, everyone, have a wonderful Friday evening. Have a wonderful weekend, and I shall see you next time. Have a good one, guys. Ciao.